next speaker is Elisa, and she's going to share her wisdom and some perspective on her experience from her dark side. Let's hear some dark side and also light side at the same time. Elisa, inside my mind, living with depression. Inside my mind, living with depression. Elisa.
When you live with depression, focusing on the positive is incredibly hard. It's not entirely impossible, it's just super hard. It's very difficult because subconsciously you always see yourself in a negative light. When you see yourself in a mirror, instead of seeing a reflection of your body, you see your flaws. The crooked teeth, the acne scars, the tiny mustache you're not even supposed to have because you're a girl, and you even pick up the tiniest details and manage to see the worst. I'm too fat. I'm not tall enough. I'm just horribly, undeniably ugly. Because you're being mean to yourself, you might not realize that you can be prickly to others too. Either you're too sensitive to their jokes, to judge people because they don't do things the way you do, or you're easily upset and angry at small mistakes that people make. Living with such negativity is exhausting. You're constantly overthinking things and you stay on alert. You're always on hyper-focus mode because you're worried of the things that might happen to you. And because it's so tiring, you start showing up at work or school with low energy. So you don't really enjoy what you do because you're too tired anyway. And the most exhausting thing is that it feels like you're sitting inside a room with a backpack full of rocks and you can see nothing but darkness because it was filled with clouds and fixed. Hi, my name is Elisa and congratulations! You just saw what's inside my mind, the mind of someone living with depression. 4 years since I was a teenager in high school, that's what it feels like to live my day to day. Days full of negativity towards myself and towards people. So when people say, oh, just focus on the positive, it always felt strange to me because I wasn't naturally positive. I had to force myself to focus on the positive, so much so that I thought it was just a case of toxic positivity. But I completely dismissed it because I thought it was just a phase. All teenagers experience the same thing, right? They're all angry at the world for treating them like a child. But unfortunately, I didn't grow out of it. It wasn't a phase, and I continued living with negativity for years to come. So I had never really had days where I felt relaxed because I was always tired. Yet I continued dismissing it, saying that it was just because my bed was not comfortable enough and I had a lot of things on my mind before going to bed. So it ended up being a cycle of I can't sleep because I had 1,000 things in my mind, I don't get enough sleep and I'm tired, I can't focus at work because I'm tired, I leave more work because I'm tired, I can't sleep because I have 1,000 work to do, and because of that, I don't get enough sleep, and it continued like that, an endless and ruthless cycle. I was devastated, and I finally gave up earlier this year. I finally went to the psychiatrist and told her about all of my symptoms, all of my problems. She asked a few questions, and I answered them, and she asked more questions. And at the end of our session, she said, congratulations, you have depression. I was shocked. I can't believe that all this time I actually had an illness that was left untreated because I didn't go to the right doctor. But I was also relieved because then I knew It wasn't just a case of bad time management. There's actually something wrong with me that caused me to experience all of those. So she prescribed me with some medicines to counter my depression and to help me sleep better at night. Let me tell you something. The first week after I did my medication was literal heaven. When I said living with depression felt like you're in a room and it's full of clouds and smokes, after I had my medication, all the clouds, all the smoke were lifted up and it just disappeared. Poof! It's nowhere to be seen. And for the first time in my life, I see myself in a positive light because I'm able to, not because I'm forced to. I'm still sitting in that room, but the way I focus on the positive is different. I used to squint my eyes and really try to see the positive, and that's so exhausting because I was forced to see something good in the darkness. But now, since the clouds are gone, it's so much easier to spot the actual truth since I'm no longer clouded, unintended, with judgment. And I can think more logically. All that time I was speaking, wearing my backpack full of rocks, is that necessary? If I lift off the weight and put it down, will there be harm? I know now that the answer is plain no, because it was just not logical to carry your backpack everywhere you go. And do you notice how my shoulders got visibly relaxed when I put down the backpack? That's exactly how it feels like. Life is no longer a burden because I'm no longer constantly tired, and because of that, focusing on the positive feels so much easier. Whenever I get upset, instead of reacting to it, I can stop myself to think if reacting is actually worth my time. When I see myself in the mirror, I see my reflection instead of my flaws. I have huge arms, but it's fine because they're working properly. I have acne scars. That's fine. I just need to be more disciplined with my skincare routine. I'm fine. But that's okay because I'm as healthy as I can be. The room is so much brighter, and for the first time in my life, I'm actually pretty hopeful with what lies for me outside the room. Hi, my name is Elisa Putri, and you just experience what it feels like to be inside my mind, the mind of someone with properly treated depression. Thank you. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, speaker Elisa. Stop recording.